Greetings. Welcome to the 15th edition of Going Down 9 Chickweed Lane. Going down as if it were an elevator. Straight to hell. Of course, 9 Chickweed Lane is the long-running comic strip by the notoriously horny Brooke McEldowney. By Brooke. And we are here it's October 19th. Of the year 1993, Gran is sitting on the couch, knitting.
Well, how was your visit with that woman?
Her name is Lola, Mother, and she's perfectly nice.
I thought you divorced her.
I divorced her son. She's still Etta's grandmother.
Well, I don't see why you still visit her. There's butterscotch on your breath.
All right, she makes fudge. She's kindly too. I'm hooked. And here, Gran is being emotionally abusive as she often is. It's all she knows, okay? And Etta longing for someone to be sweet to her, even though she has divorced Mr. Berber, she still hangs out with Mr. Berber's mother. Mr. Berber, of course, is Etta's father. They are divorced, and we've discussed that Etta does feel responsible for the parents splitting. She's a young teenage girl, probably around the age 14 or 15 years old. And is going through a hard time. That's what it is. That's what's happening in this strip. And Gran doesn't like it none too much at all. And we'll move on. A particularly horrible strip. I have seen this one posted before. Etta, for some reason, is taking her mother's measurements. Of course, the bust, waist, and hips. Marking them down. You can tell that Brooke had a lot of fun drawing that first panel. Drawing the measuring tape around the breasts of Juliet Barber. There's a little bit of extra care and attention put into that panel. Her breast, and I could be reading too far into this, but her breast does seem a bit exaggerated in that one panel there compared to the others. He does love to draw women's bodies. So Etta has taken her mother's measurements and written them down as wow. And Juliet, Mrs. Berber, loves that. In fact, loves it so much that she can only gaze sleepy-eyed upon her daughter and have little hearts fly out of her brain. And now, in 2021, there is a strip where a man says, wow, when looking at the adult Etta's body, and Amos finds that absolutely distasteful. Brooks an interesting guy. This strip often makes me say, wow. So, is this a horny strip? Is today's a horny strip? I can't tell. It's weird. It's definitely weird. I would never write this, and I'm a pervert. I will say I do enjoy. I like the way he draws their outfits. I like the way he draws Etta's skirt. I really like, that he actually takes the time to draw the lines. I like the cross hatching. I like the texture on this skirt, even though it's just very sloppy kind of screen tone. There's something about it that I like. I just enjoy how he, and the hair as well. I enjoy how he can do a simple, dynamic black and white strip. I have to give him that. Good textures, I guess is what I'm saying. You know, a lot of people don't bother to texture the clothing of their characters in these 2D strips very well. 2D monochrome, I guess I mean to say. Although they are two-dimensional as well.
So, you're not going to eat your chard, are you? Well, we're not wasting our food in this house, young lady. You'll find it in the fridge in the morning, and every morning until you eat it.
Well, once again, she's made me feel like a total 12-year-old. Really? Want to sneak in and try on my mom's lingerie? Oh, God. Want to sneak in and try on my mom's lingerie? So is this implying that Etta is 12 years old? There's an earlier strip where Juliet says, look at my daughter. She could easily pass for 16 or 17. But I have a feeling that this is implying that Etta is saying, wow, you feel like a 12-year-old. Well, I'm a 12-year-old. Do you want to sneak in and try on my mom's lingerie? And, going back one day to the Etta, measuring her mother's bust and waist and hips. And then this next strip where she suggests sneaking in and wearing her mother's lingerie. That's all weird. That's, I know kids have a sense of discovery and they need to understand their own sexuality in their own way. And, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, kids explore those ideas. All people do. But this is a work of fiction. And it's supposed to be a funny little newspaper strip. It just seems bad. Not that the idea of a kid trying on their mother's lingerie is bad. I'm sure plenty of kids have done that. But when Brooke talks about it, it feels bad. Anyway, I like Chard, personally. When you were a kid, did you read Superman? And we're here with again, I like the patterns here on Etta's jacket. I don't think I've ever seen Etta in this outfit. The smart little beret and everything. When you were a kid, did you read Superman? Are you kidding? I'd sneak into my brother's room and immerse myself in each issue as one obsessed. Ma Kent whipped up those blue tights on her singer, you know. Generations of tiptoeing, secretive girls owe that weird old lady a deep vote of gratitude. I don't really get the joke here. I really don't get the joke here. So Ma Kent is the mother of Superman. So they're saying, yeah, of course, I would sneak into my brother's room and read Superman obsessively. And, Etta is also interested. Generations of tiptoeing, secretive girls owe that weird old lady a deep vote of gratitude. Oh, is it because Superman's a total hunk in those blue tights? Is that what they're implying? Is that Superman's sexy and so they owe Superman's mother a vote of gratitude for putting her son in those blue tights? I don't know. I don't like how this is making me feel. Let's move on. I've heard this story Oh, God. All right, well, I'll read this in a different order. So we'll go blah, 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 blah. That's Gran. Etta, in her internal monologue, says, I've heard this story 85.6 quadrillion times. Please stop. For the love of mercy, stop. 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 Stop.
Blah, 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 blah. Now stop me if you've heard this before. Blah, 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 blah.
As she looks over slyly at the defeated Juliet Berber. Gran knows she's heard it before. That's what the sly eye means. The little squinty-eyed look with the one raised brow. She's messing with her on purpose. Now we're seeing more and more use of screen tone on these panels. Not great use of screen tone. I really do prefer his pen work, but you know, he's trying it out. Now, if you don't know, screen tone is, these patterns here. You'll see these in anime, manga, quite a bit. You'll see this in a lot of underground comics and black and white comics. Not underground, but I guess I mean to say a lot of independent black and white comics. Not to say that colored comics didn't use screen tone as well. But a lot of independent books were printed black and white, the comics boom in the 90s. So that's screen tone. All right, let's move forward to our Sunday strip for the week. Here we have more music. And again, let's have this be an exercise, okay? Close your eyes and imagine a future where the horniness of Brooke McEldowney is not an issue. Okay? He hasn't been able to hurt anyone. A boating accident left him castrated, we'll say. And so, young cartoonist Brooke McEldowney makes a funny strip about a bunch of women who work at a Catholic school. Now open your eyes, and this is you love this comic. It's very funny. You love Sister Ignatius and Sister Aramis and Sister Stephen. And here they are. And you can see the sister on the far right is who I believe is headmistress. Perking up a little bit. Wait a minute. Now the other sisters are deep in meditation there, but sister on the far right says, wait a minute here. And she perks up even more. I thought Sister Ignatius was sick today. She is. Then who is playing organ for Mass? Well, I asked Etta Berber. The sister on the right, you can see her fingers gripping the pew. She rushes off. Sister in the middle looks up. Wait a minute. I sense what's going on here. Isn't that Home on the Range? And, yes, young Etta Berber, the problem child who is always giving those sisters a run for their money, has decided to forego the traditional songs from the hymnals and is playing Home on the Range. And that's a funny joke in a way. It's not funny, actually, at all. But it passes the test for being an acceptable newspaper strip comic that will become a zombie strip after Brooke dies and another artist takes over. And, one of his unpaid assistants eventually becomes his successor or something like that. And that's how the strip ends, after 28 years, it finally is taken out of syndication and everything. There's several collections made of, the adventures of, the sisters at the academy there, and the kids who act up and give them a hard time. But really, it's a very loving situation. The sisters are just trying their best to keep the kids in line because it's their job, and there's a lot of humor there in the power dynamics. And all is right in the world. And let's actually end the episode without going back into reality, okay? We're going to stay in this alternate reality we created for this thought exercise and say, join me again next time for Going Down 9 Chickweed Lane, the show where we look at the comic strips featuring those lovable sisters. Good night.